Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. This is the August Veterans Whiskey Club live stream, August edition 2025. I can't believe it's already August. Hope you guys can hear me okay. Volume good, audio, video. It's already August. Hope everything is good. But so what this is, if this is your first time joining us, thank you for being here. If you know a veteran that might be drinking alone tonight, send them this link so they can come on and jump on the live stream and have some drinks with some fellow veterans from around the world. And at the end of the live stream, we're going to have a giveaway. And what the giveaway is going to be is I'm going to buy you a drink. The veteran whiskey of the month is the Horse Soldier 250th anniversary for the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary. Come on, I want to show the little label at the bottom. Come on. Come on with it. Come on. You can do it. All right. Well, anyways, this is not the typical average Horse Soldier bottle, which you couldn't call any of them average as they are. This is the 250th Army Anniversary Edition bottle. It is very limited edition. They just put out one small batch of them for the anniversary, and this is the whiskey of the month. So every month we do a different veteran-owned whiskey of the month. The only rules is that there has to be the whiskey company has to be owned by a veteran, and it can't be the same bottle more than 1 month. Like so. Say this is the 30th episode or something, which I can look at one of my papers here and find out which number episode it is actually. I can't do the same bottle twice. So a few months from now, I could not have the Horse Soldier 250th anniversary bottle again. But I can do a different bottle from Horse Soldier, okay? Those are the rules. I just make them up. All right, so Horse Soldier 250th. All right, 250th Army Anniversary. That is the bottle that is the Horse Soldier or the Veterans Whiskey of the month. Excuse me. And I have somewhere in here a list of all the previous. That way I don't forget one day and do the same bottle twice and break the rules. That would be terrible. I heard someone knocking at the door. My light's too low. My light was too high. Maybe that's why you couldn't read the bottle. Maybe you can read it now. Troy and Laura are in the house.
Hello.
What's up?
Howdy, howdy. See if you can read this now.
Good evening.
I still can't really
We
read
got it here as well.
Did you guys
unopened?
You guys already opened it, right?
Unopened.
It's unopened.
It's unopened. Oh my goodness gracious! You guys are gonna be blown away.
I got the D-Day here also unopened.
Oh wow! When did you find that? I don't remember you finding that one before.
I had it sent to me.
Oh, nice. It is shocking how good that whiskey is considering it's only 80 proof. Now, usually there's nothing else from Horse Soldier that low of a proof. And you know they did it because it was the 80th anniversary. So it makes sense.
Right.
But it's still packed full of flavor. It's good. It's good.
So should I start with D-Day then?
Sure. If you're gonna crack them right now.
I've been saving them for this occasion.
Oh, nice. Hold on, I gotta pull something up. Today. All right, so one of the things we're gonna do, like I said later on, we're gonna do a giveaway. I'm going to give away 2 ounces, so 2 1-ounce bottles, so one for you and one for a friend. 2 1-ounce bottles of the Horse Soldier 250th Anniversary Edition, and these are not only hard to find, but they're very expensive. And so, I really hope that some veterans watching later jump in the raffle and and join us. But I wanted to share with you guys real quick. I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know what today is, the National Something Day? You know how every day is like a National Donut Day or whatever?
I don't know what today is.
Today is the National Veteran First Responder Day. So veterans that are first responders, like the military police, military firefighters, and medics and stuff like that, they have an additional day, like, because there's a normal first responder day and there's Veterans Day, but because of what their job entails, what they do, they get a bonus day just for us to give them a high five. So high five to all the veteran first responders out there.
High five.
Super high five. Let's see.
Super virtual high five.
Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. So I've got to pour a glass of this whiskey of the month so I can cheers you guys properly. If you missed the review of the 250th anniversary, I have a review that is already out. I have already filmed the review for the Green River 250th Army anniversary. I've already filmed that review, but I'm not done editing it yet, so it hasn't been posted yet.
Yeah, that one's also unopened for us.
Oh, you haven't opened that one either?
No.
Apparently,
It's
we don't
all right.
open enough new bottles.
Well, we went like live 3 nights in a row last week, and like I was saving the liver, so we didn't open anything new.
Gotcha. Drink some water.
My help.
Here you go. Yeah, let's drink some water. Laura's gonna open that shit because I
got
cannot
some
see
liquid
the
IV
perforations.
Because water's not enough for me.
Good. We got to make sure that we're drinking more water than we're drinking whiskey. Like I said earlier, if you know a veteran that might be drinking alone tonight, drinking by themselves, not feeling in a good way or whatever the case may be,
That's a great pop.
send them this link and tell them to jump on and watch us live, have some drinks with some fellow veterans from around the world, which I got to put the poll in the chat, but I'll wait until the first video to do that.
So
that way you're not just looking at the top of my head for a while.
Mark, I don't mean to derail you at all. Do we have any information at all from Copperworks?
Not aside from what we not that you already know. They didn't respond. They have not responded yet to the email that I see.
So Jason went on vacation out of the country, right? So that's
right.
that's the last thing we heard, right?
No, Jeff went on vacation, and so
Jeff went on vacation. Okay.
Yeah.
Tropical Peaches is coming, y'all.
It is.
This horse soldier is delicious.
Let me taste it.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Cheers, brother. Holy
so
shit, that's good.
Have your veteran friends jump on. Towards the end of the show, I'm going to put a raffle up with the wheel of names. All the veterans that are watching, shout out that you're here. I'll put your name on the wheel of names, and you can win a sample of the very elusive, very expensive, hard to find 250th Army anniversary. And I will spoiler alert right now that the Green River is also really good. So speaking of the 250th Army anniversary, this is a solid. I think it's probably my favorite Green River I've ever had.
Wow.
I've had a few. I've had the weeded, I've had the regular bourbon, I've had full proof, and I've had a single barrel.
So on our stream about an hour ago, had someone say that they picked up the Maker's Echo.
Yes.
Have you opened Echo yet?
I haven't opened it yet to do a review. I've actually got it right there.
I've not even seen it yet. We're still on Delta at our class 6. There it is.
By vets for vets.
Yeah. So ours is by vets for vets Delta.
Yeah. So they changed the stave profile on this one. I wonder if it's the same as the deployment batch. Because what they did is when they first came out with the for vets by vets military editions, there was the for vets by vets batch, or there was 001, 002, and 003. And then like 6 months or a year later, they came out with Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. And Alpha was the same stave profile as the 01. Bravo was the 02. They were the same staves, but it just had a different date of when it was released. And then the following year, like 23 and 24, they came out with new batches of Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, but they were the same stave profiles. You could just tell it was a new batch because it had a new date on it. Then they came out with Delta. Then they just came out with Echo. And Delta just came out like earlier this year, like in February or something. And now they already have Echo out, and these stave profiles are different too. So it's fun. I think they're delicious. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, you're a Maker's Mark guy.
I am. All right. So we're talking about what day it is. And so that brings us all around full circle to this being the month of August. And so for August, there's a couple big deal days. Hold on. Like Purple Heart Day. I don't know if you guys know it, but in the month of August is National Purple Heart Day. Show you a little.
Purple Heart Day is observed annually on August 7th to honor and remember the sacrifices of men and women who have been wounded or killed in military service. The modern Purple Heart was established by General George Washington on August 7th, 1782, originally named the Badge of Military Merit. The decoration was revived in 1932 on the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth by the U.S. War Department. The Purple Heart represents the sacrifice and bravery of service members who have been wounded or lost their lives in combat. It is a highly respected decoration, acknowledging the physical cost of defending the nation, and it is estimated that over 1.8 million Purple Hearts have been awarded since its inception. Purple Heart Day is an important occasion for the nation to honor the valor and sacrifice of those who have been wounded or killed while serving in the U.S. military.
Nice. I thought that was a pretty good video. It's a different video than the one we watched last year for this month, National Purple Heart Day. I had to make sure I had to go back and see what we did on August last month, because this episode is episode 27 of the Veterans Whiskey Club. Oh, I'm sorry, 28. My bad. This is the 28th episode of the Veterans Whiskey Club live stream. So I had to go back and make sure I wasn't doing double duty. Just like for the next one, which you guys might remember that August is also the month that the National Wind Talkers falls in.
Oh, and
yeah, the Navajo Code Talker Day.
It's not free.
awesome.
August
Blood,
14th.
sweat, and tears. War is hell. If it wasn't for the Navajo Code Talkers, many lives would have been lost. But with the Code Talkers and their language, we will always remember them from the bottom of our hearts.
Go to the next one.
Freedom is not free.
Oh, it's the same video. I thought there was a second video on there. My bad. Oh, is there?
Defect ana achieve. That is copy.
Deer Destroyer T. Mouse.
Sita sa ka asta na ki shas. As each Navajo word came through the air, the code talker down at the beach command post, he writes it down in English. Send demolition team to Hill 362B. Beneath 362B was the problem. 20 seconds in Navajo, 30 minutes in English code. After 20 seconds, beach command post organized a rescue team to save that company Marines. Those guys pinned down on north side didn't have 30 minutes. That's how critical Navajo code was to the war in the Pacific.
Awesome, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, so August is the month of National Purple Heart Day and the National Navajo Code Talkers Day. And today, first Saturday of the month, is Veteran First Responders Day. So, let you know those are the first couple things going on in the month of August for military. Now, before we do anything else, we are going to honor the fallen. So now is the time for anybody in the chat. If you have a loved one who is no longer with us, an old battle buddy, lost his life, or no longer with us, whether it was the day they passed away was in the month of August or their birthday was in the month of August. Either way, we want to recognize them. So I'll give the chat a few minutes to throw anything in the chat that they want to. I know Orlando, appreciate you sending me one. Got Miguel Ramirez. Army Staff Sergeant killed in action in World War II. It's awesome. He sent me the whole write-up on him. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's impressive. What website is that?
Honorstate.org.
All right, I got to write that down.
Yeah. All right, so Staff Sergeant Miguel Ramirez is on there. I think I only had one for August. Let me see. So when I was in Triple Nickel, the 555th Engineer Brigade, served with Bentley Freeman. He was really into cars, and unfortunately, he died in a car accident in August of 2017. So I'll put Bentley on the board. Appreciate all you guys being here. Make sure I'm still there. Is one of my favorites from 2025. Roger that. Dennis is in the house. Good to see you guys. Mr. Mom's here. Bill Reynolds is here. Cheers, cheers. Glad you guys could be here. Ben over in Z-Man Land. Yep. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody in the chat. Time to drink water. I believe you.
Is that Eric?
It is. Appreciate you much, Eric.
Thanks, buddy.
Independent Joe's here. Thanks for being here. My Marine brother. Oh, and on Monday, I'm going to be on with Joe. So make sure you check us out on Monday. Man, I'm going to have to give the old liver a break tomorrow because I was drinking last night and had a show on Thursday. Remember, everyone deployed. Roger that. All right, so for the Fallen, I have my special horse soldier bottle. I put it in the black horse soldier bag that I got from Vince. And this is the horse soldier foolproof that I only drink from this bottle when we are raising a glass to the Fallen. So I don't see anybody else in the chat wanting to put any other names on the board, so I think we're good. We're going to raise a glass to those who are no longer with us. Lest we forget, may we keep saying their names so that they never are forgotten. Until Valhalla. Cheers. Rest in peace. All right, and when we honor the fallen, we remember that mental health is a big deal. On average, 22 veterans a day take their own lives, so we do 22 push-ups a day to keep ourselves fit and to remember that that is an issue that needs to be talked about and addressed. And Troy Double Dog dared me one day that we wouldn't do one more each month, and we have been doing one more each month, and this month we're up to 32.
It's going to kill me, but I'm going to do it.
Well, you know what's also crazy I did? Because there was a request. We get AARs at the end of the show. People say what we would like to see, right? And they wanted to see a push-up cam.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's get it.
I don't know that I got a push-up cam available, but I'll do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Hot dog. Tell you what. No, you don't need to see the legs. You don't need a leg cam. My grandfather.
I'm too old and fat for that. Holy cow, that's a lot. Whew.
So Floyd Chester Kreitz. Floyd Chester Kreitz. Hey, thank you for sharing, Charles. Appreciate you, man. Mark doing extra for Troy. Well, Yeah, we made a deal that each month we would do one more push-up than the month before.
I did 32. I don't know how many more I got in me though.
I hear you.
Damn.
Yeah, doing them all in a row is that number's getting up there. 22 sounds so much easier right now.
I mean, Mark, you're probably, you could probably do twice that. Don't be modest. I'm 56, y'all. I'm out of shape as a motherfucker.
Raising a glass with some Green River 250th. Dude, I am telling you, I think that is the best Green River I've ever had. Now, maybe because I was drinking a little bit of the bottle, you know what I mean? You're like, hey, this is a $50 Army anniversary bottle. You're like, wow, that's good, right? But I'm telling you, I can't think of a Green River that I've had that I liked more than that, because out of all the ones I've had, I like that one the most. I think it's really stinking good. All right, stop sharing. I can do 1.5. Troy, you have to do them every day. Yeah, you have to do them every day. If you're only doing push-ups once a month, then yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing push-ups every day, y'all.
All right, let's take a look at the poll. Let's see where we're at in the poll. What military branch did you or your family serve in? 50% Army and Coast Guard. Navy and Marines is in a strong second place with a third of the audience. Navy and Marines is at 33%. Space Force and Air Force, they have beaten, the Air Force has beaten Army once before, and on this poll anyway. And right now they're only at 16%, and usually we get a few other countries' militaries in the house by now, but there's still plenty of time. And like I said, any veterans that are out there, towards the end of the live stream, I'm going to do a shout out. You respond, and I'll put your name on the wheel to win some samples of the 250th Horse Soldier. I will Kevin Costner hand deliver those to you. You didn't list Green River Rye. Have you not had? Yes, I have not had the rye. Yeah, I've had the bourbon, the weeded, the foolproof, and a single barrel. And the single barrel was a single barrel, barrel strength. But yeah, Dennis, I have not tried the rye. Good attention to detail, sir. Okay. Anything else? We checked the poll. We honored the fallen. And now we are on to military news and history. So we're going to talk about some historic points of the month of August, some things that happened in history, military, namely Medal of Honor recipients sharing their stories because they have amazing stories and they don't get told nearly enough. Then we're going to talk about some current news and things are going on. Let me get rid of that. I'm just closing out all the windows of the things I've already shared. And get rid of Reveille. Purple Heart Day.
On August 5th.
There we go. All right, we are already up and rolling. Sharing is caring. So, are you still drinking the 80th?
Got the 250 right now.
You already poured some of the 250?
Yes.
Nice.
Excellent, by the way.
Dude. I don't even want to say this out loud because of how special this bottle is to me. I told you guys I only drink out of this bottle when I pour a glass to the fallen. This is Horse Soldier's barrel strength, which Horse Soldier's barrel strength is very stinking good. So I had this in our shot to the fallen, and I'm telling you, I just tried the 250th, and it is crazy how much better the 250th Army anniversary, how much better this is than their standard barrel strength. Even though this is down to 100 proof, it is. I just gotta say, it's significantly a better pour.
It's so good.
Vince told me that they picked a few barrels to go into this blend to make this from the 10-year group of barrels from the 10-year private selects that people are getting.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that one or two of them were hazmat barrels.
Really?
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the Medal of Honor recipients.
On August 5, 1864, as the Union Navy launched its daring assault on Mobile Bay, coal heaver Richard Dunphy served aboard the USS Hartford, the flagship of Admiral David Farragut. The fleet sailed into the heavily fortified harbor, facing relentless fire from Fort Morgan, Confederate gunboats, and the formidable ironclad ram CSS Tennessee. As shells rained down upon the Hartford, Dunphy remained steadfast at his post, working tirelessly in the heart of the ship. Amidst the chaos, an enemy shell tore through his position, mangling his arms and leaving him gravely wounded. Despite his devastating injuries, Dunphy's courage never wavered. He endured unimaginable pain as his ship pressed forward. Dunphy, though critically wounded and losing both arms above the elbow, had already done his part, helping to keep the Hartford in fighting shape as she and the fleet encircled and forced the surrender of the CSS Tennessee. For his bravery and devotion to duty under relentless fire, Richard Dunphy was awarded the Medal of Honor. After the war, Richard Dunphy moved to Wisconsin, where he got married and raised a family. He passed away on November 23, 1904, at the age of 62.
Sorry, I didn't realize that you guys couldn't see the top half of that video most of the time. Because there's an option to make those shorts full screen, but when you make them full screen, you can't see all of it. That's stupid, YouTube. I'm telling you, the AI is getting dumber. It is. Let's see. Bourbon and Balls is in the house. Up very late. Cheers, all. Hey, thank you for being here. I know that on your live stream on Thursday, I saw you and you talked about how, unfortunately, when we do the veterans live streams on Saturdays, usually you're not up for them. And so I'm glad you were able to make it. Or I'm sorry you were able to make it, whichever one is more appropriate.
Now, is that Charlie or is that Jeff?
I think it's Charlie, but he can correct me if he wants. I enjoy the Green River Rye. Did not care for the weeded so much. Perhaps I should revisit it. I liked the weeded. That bottle went away pretty quick. Cheers, Prescription Bourbon. Thanks for being here, DMC. Appreciate you. California Scotty's in the house.
What's up, Scott?
Enjoying a night drink on the patio after dinner. That sounds classy. Sounds relaxing. Sounds great.
Sounds like what I should be doing.
Right? Just got done with our 12-bottle blind event. So in one sitting, you drank 12 whiskeys. I don't know how you're typing right now, bro. Love the rye. Only rye I've gotten strong spearmint notes. You're telling me I'm not going to like the rye. If there's too much dill or mint or just overly pepper, I generally don't like those. Gandy Road. Good to see you, Gandy Road. Glad you could be here. I just wanted to make sure I caught up everybody who's in the house that I said hi. Scotty saying hi to everybody. Bardstown Weeded is my favorite origin. Yes. I talk about this all the time, that I think if you put the Bardstown Weeded Bottled and Bond in a blind, it will beat pretty much every Weller on the market. Because Wellers are great if you're drinking them intentionally. If you got a bottle of Weller, you pour it and you drink it, you're like, yeah, it's good. But they get destroyed in blinds. They do not do well in blinds.
I can appreciate that.
What's up, Paul? Good to see you, buddy. It is time for water again. Thank you so much, Eric. Pour some more water in the water glass.
Paul, the 2024 Evan Williams 1783 was pretty solid. 2025, I think, is a touch better. Not that I'm advocating you should go buy another one, but you should go buy another one.
Yes, I agree. The 2024, there is one store on base where they still have a row of 2024s sitting there. I have not seen the 2025s in Washington yet. And
Really?
It's already August, man.
You've got it though, right?
Yeah, I got one sent to me.
Okay. I was going to say, if you don't have it, I'm going to bring you one.
Oh, no, we Bourbon and I did a live stream where we tried all three of them side by side.
Yeah.
And it was 23, 24, 25. And then the regular 1783, he said he feels like the 2024 isn't that much better than the regular 1783, but I don't have any 1783, the regular stuff, because I got it and it was like a super solid $25 bottle, so it went away very quickly.
Yeah. Now I blinded the three of them as well.
Got the phone back on. Did you honor the fallen yet? Yes, we honored the fallen, and
we did, Ben.
And you missed the push-up cam. I think you were the one that requested the push-up cam. I set up a push-up cam so that you guys could watch me knock out 32 push-ups just now. And
33 next month.
33 next month. So I was going to ask your feedback on the push-up cam. Bardstown High Wheat is better than the Bardstown Bottled and Bond. You know what? I haven't tried those two side by side. But we just played a video of a Civil War Medal of Honor recipient, Richard Dunphy. He was on a ship. They got hit by some cannonballs, like they were getting bombarded, and it took off both of his arms, and he kept running around and doing whatever he could with both of his arms ripped off to help bring the ship in to do whatever it needed to do. Even though he had just lost both of his arms, he was still staying like mission focused or whatever. And he received the Medal of Honor. And that's wild. I don't know what he could have been doing besides yelling at people to do stuff for him. But if he was doing anything besides just laying on the ground crying, I'd say he did a great job.
Fantastic job.
All right, so without much further to do, actually, I want to check the poll before we get into the next video. Let's check on it. All right, so on the poll, we're down to 46% Army, Coast Guard, Navy, and Marines is catching up quick at 42%. So 46% Army, 42% Navy, Marines. Space Force, just kidding, Air Force is 12%. Haven't seen any other countries' military yet. Like I said, usually we have a few by this point in the show join in from overseas. But hopefully that we'll see them later on.
Or the Great White North.
So let's get on to our next video. This is Mr. John Hawk, a World War II Medal of Honor recipient.
I was born in San Francisco. We moved up to Seattle in 1931. I lived and raised on Bainbridge Island, which was pretty wild. We had chased each other around with slingshots and marbles. When we played in the woods, it was serious. My dad had taught me how to shoot. I was an expert marksman, and I'm a good infantryman. Come when you're called and you do the best you can, and when it's over, you get the hell out of there.
Yep.
With America immersed in war on two fronts around the world, John Bud Hawk made the decision that college could wait. Hawk enlisted in the Army right out of high school in 1943. In 1944, his first major action brought him to the French town of Chambois. German troops had been desperately pushing their remaining personnel and heavy armament east to defend their homeland. But there was only one way back to Germany, through a tiny gap known as the Falaise Pocket. Despite being outgunned and outnumbered, the Americans were determined to defend the gap and prevent the Germans from reaching home at all costs.
Our mission simply was to stop everything we could from getting out through the gap. Well, the Germans had to stick to the roads to get out, and we cut them off. It was the worst carnage you could imagine. There were a lot of roads that were totally impassable with wreckage, so they had to try to come through the orchards. We were attacking, and they were defending. And of course, to their advantage, they knew every inch of ground that we were on. We didn't know what was in front of us. We collected up back a ways to see what we could do. I was reconnoitering through the bushes, found a lone infantryman there with a bazooka, the rocket, but he's got nobody with him. Said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I get trying to get these tanks that are in the brush over there, but I got no backup, and I have to put it down to load it." And I said, "Well, I'll back you." And then I loaded and defended him. He started shooting and used up all his rockets. The tanks that were in the bushes where he was left.
Though he had managed to repel a small group of enemy tanks, Hawk and his group were still badly outnumbered. With visibility and uneven terrain working against them, the American tank destroyers were forced to a standstill at the edge of the orchard.
Our position was we were on one side of a field back with the tank destroyers, and the Germans were on the other side. This stream bed, which was about 15 or 20 foot deep, was in the middle. There was no way a tank could get across it. And tanks behind us, tanks in front of us, with visibility what it was, the tank destroyers wouldn't see them. Can't see them, can't shoot them. Well, I could see them. I know darn well. You're not thinking really of the consequences. You're trying to think of a solution.
Mm-hmm.
If you were standing in the middle, you could see both ways. And I said, "If I line you up, will you shoot? And then we'll correct." I exposed myself standing out there trying to look like a fence post in the orchard. Say, "Go 20 feet to the left. Raise it up 3 feet." Something like that. And these guys are good. They were good. They'd put like an armor piercing right through a building. And then they would put another one in right behind it, an HE, and work. The Germans were getting shot by somebody you couldn't see. So we knocked out a couple of them, and the other one backed off.
Nice.
It was literally the turning point of the whole battle.
His unlikely aiming stake maneuver stalled the German advance, but for Hawk, the day's events were far from over.
I'm feeling really smart you know what I mean? We chased these guys out, and I'm hiding behind an apple tree, thinking fresh targets. When sun comes in range, I can see them, and I'll draw these guys' fire on them. Well, I didn't see the one tank, so he shot me right through the apple tree. Literally through the apple tree, and into my leg, and mostly through my leg. To me, it was like getting hit with a sledgehammer. And I couldn't tell whether I had a broken leg or no leg or what. It knocked me flat. But I'm either done or I can run like hell. Boy, I took off out of there like you. Ran around the corner of a building and fell over another tank. Wham! Thank goodness for some kind of training. I was still carrying my rifle. I hit the ground and rolled over and looked up, and there's a German looking out of the turret on that tank, standing, probably the tank commander, up on top, trying to figure out what's going on too. Well, I recovered first and shot him, and he went plunk down in. I think to this day, I almost wish that I hadn't shot him. I don't know how I would have done it different, but to find out what he thought of that crazy American who's attacking my tank with his body, because that's what I did. I ran full tilt into that thing. I bet you could hear the clang for a mile. I recovered first and took off with this tank and one other one right behind me. And I'm headed for Mother, which is the 2 tank destroyers. They said I got about 40 yards away and went zip down and down in the ditch. When the cannonading stopped, they came down and picked me out of the ditch. And so I went back to the aid station and they gave me a super Band-Aid. Away we went.
Super Band-Aid.
To Germany.
As a result of the battle in the apple orchard, a key area of the Falaise pocket was cut off. Unable to reach their homeland, 5,000 Germans were stranded and surrendered. Sergeant Hawk continued to fight in the European theater for 5 more months and was wounded again in Germany before being sent home to Washington State to recuperate. Within 2 weeks of his return, Hawk was advised that he would receive the Medal of Honor. On June 21, 1945, President Truman presented the medal to young Bud Hawk at the state capitol in Olympia, Washington.
Oh, nice.
2 words I'm not fond of. One is hero. The other one is winner. There are no winners in a war.
Mm-hmm.
I think the greatest way to give of yourself and what you have to offer is by teaching. What would you give for an answer if one of these bright-eyed little darlings looks up at you and says, "Mr. Hawk, what's it like to kill somebody?" That's a kick in the gut. And you have to have an answer for them. They have complete faith, you know. They're trying to explain that the worst thing that can happen to a human being is to have to take the life of another human being. You will never, ever forget it. But you can, if you must, and you will. There is one reason that they can do that terrible thing. That reason is you. That's their only reason for doing that, is you. So you think about it on Veterans Day, because that's what it was.
No, not with your nonsense. Come on.
Hey, welcome to another edition of What's...
Sorry, I hate it how stuff just automatically starts playing right away. Sorry, so, yeah. John Hawk, hilarious guy, a bucket of personality, just hilarious. He was going through France, World War II. He's in an anti-tank type group where their whole job is to take out tanks. And he gets shot in the leg and runs away from the position and ends up like full on running into a tank. And then when the tank commander pops his head out, he shoots him and then runs away again with a shot leg. It's crazy. And just him and one other dude took out multiple tanks. Not to mention that part.
It's insane.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, some of these stories are just awesome.
All right. Time for some water.
Let's see. Sharing screen. Let's see if we can size this one up, because this is another short. I just want to get it to where you guys can see the whole thing good.
Lots of Navy shorts tonight.
In 1952, Hospital Corpsman John Kilmer was attached to H Company, 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division during the Battle of Bunker Hill in Korea. While defending a critical position far ahead of the main line, Hospital Corpsman Kilmer repeatedly exposed himself to intense mortar, artillery, and sniper fire to reach wounded Marines and coordinate their evacuation. Despite being seriously wounded by mortar fragments while rushing to aid a fallen Marine, he refused to stop. Crawling through a storm of enemy fire, he reached a Marine and began treating him with calm precision. As another violent barrage rained down, Hospital Corpsman Kilmer made the ultimate sacrifice. shielding the wounded man with his own body. He was mortally wounded by shrapnel in the act of saving the Marine. For his selfless actions that day, Hospital Corpsman John Kilmer was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. To honor Hospital Corpsman Kilmer's legacy, the Navy has authorized the construction of the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, USS John E. Kilmer. On August 13th, 19...
Oh, what a stud.
Hospital Corpsman John Kilmer was attached to
Absolute
H Company,
stud.
3rd Battalion, 7th Marines.
He did that corpsman thing, the medic thing, to where, run through rain and hellfire of bullets and artillery and what have you to go try to help out a wounded man. And while you're doing that, you are covering him with your body to protect him while you're working on him. And he lost his life in that process because he was protecting the person he was caring for. CJP's in the house. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. What are you guys drinking in the chat? I'm still drinking Horse Soldier, and I'm loving it. This 250th anniversary is absolutely phenomenal. Like we talked about earlier, if you weren't here earlier, I will remind you that towards the end of the live stream, I'm going to do a raffle for all the veterans that are watching. You have a chance to win a couple samples of this bottle, the Army 250th anniversary. I'm giving away some free samples of this later on. So if you know any veterans that are drinking alone tonight, send them this link and tell them to jump on, and they can get a sample of this hard to find and very expensive bottle of the Army 250th anniversary edition of Horse Soldier. So I'm drinking Horse Soldier, and it's fantastic. It's from the 10-year-old Private Select Barrels. They did a small blend to make this special batch. Troy is also drinking the same thing, and
Yep.
Dennis is drinking Still Austin Cast Strength. Roger that.
It's an excellent choice, Dennis.
If you got a good one. You know what, Troy? I don't think I've given you a sample of my Still Austin Cast Strength.
All right.
This was very close to making it into our worst bottles on our bar competition.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
that one I know was not a Nancy Fraley pick. Because dude, this Still Austin Cast Strength tastes like you took walnut, almond, and chestnut shells, put them in the campfire, and then ate them the next day.
All right.
They are
So I will pour you a healthy pour of ours, and we'll swap them.
and there's a distinct note in Texas whiskey that's like burnt nutshell. There's not a peanut around. There are other kinds of nuts. So it's a Texas thing.
It's burnt something.
I get burnt like walnut shell.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't. But this one is like strong on that.
Okay.
So we are moving right along. We talked about a Medal of Honor recipient from the Civil War, from World War II, from the Korean War. And here we are sharing a different style of video from a Medal of Honor recipient. I'm not going to say too much, but besides the fact that it's Sergeant Major John Canley. Sergeant Major John Canley.
Vietnam, I think the first few days, you're just waiting to get shot. I don't know how the Marines feel that way, but I was just waiting. And then of course, you adapt. You have to adapt because you can't function, being afraid. You have to act. His reputation was that he never ducked, he never crawled.
Canley, he may not ever have even fully understood this himself, but Canley was a fatalist. Is, I suppose. He certainly was then. And he clearly did believe that if today was your day, there wasn't nothing you could do about it.
So he never ducked, never crawled. Felt
During
like if today was the
firefights,
day.
when we'd be all hugging Mother Earth, he'd be standing up directing us.
The result of that is he appeared to be fearless because he was fearless. And we all considered him totally, completely, and absolutely without fear.
He stood up in the middle of firefights. I don't know what else to say, but that's, and I know that might sound unrealistic to people listening, but you'll hear that from every Alpha Company Marine.
He gave them a chance. If they didn't get him in that first 30 seconds, then he said to himself, I don't have to worry about it today.
Yep.
Yeah, Gunny Canley was quiet. And unlike, most Marine NCOs and Gunnies, he spoke very softly. But the one thing I got from him, and I didn't have much contact with him until Way City and then after, was he loved his enlisted Marines. And he never scolded us, he instructed us, but you could feel the love. You really could. I know that's maybe a tough word, in combat Marines, but you could feel the love. And, I would screw up or something, and it was never a chewing out. It was just, this is the way we do it. So you wanted to do it right for him after that.
He is individually and uniquely responsible for saving and or protecting the lives of a lot of good young Marines of that day. Old gray-haired turds today. And all of us, the lieutenant included, literally worship the ground that he walks on. He's a special human being. A very, very special human being. Never takes any credit. Never wanted any credit. Just wanted to take care of his Marines.
An important day is
man.
coming for every American with money in the markets.
Cheers to that.
And it'll be here sooner than you think.
Cheers to that kind of leader, I'm telling you. And I poured a glass of this D-Day 80th anniversary to have with you because that's what you were drinking earlier. And
it was, yeah.
And I finished my glass of the 250th, and that is a very special bottle to me, so I don't want to just be drinking a ton of it. So I poured another glass of this D-Day anniversary, which I don't want to drink a lot of this one either, but I'm gonna have one.
I'm gonna pour a little bit more to have with you, Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a pour with you. Appreciate Eric and Dennis reminding us to drink water. We drank water. Appreciate that.
My bottle was not parachuted onto the beaches of Normandy.
I don't know how many bottles were. I mean, they could have taken cases with them. Who knows?
They could have, but mine was picked up in Illinois in a whiskey store.
I'll pour a little bit more. I'm giving myself.
I'm pretty happy to have it, but I do not believe mine was parachuted onto the beach. Yeah. Cheers, brother. For 80 proof, it's so freaking good.
Dude, well, you can't say that's thin. You can't.
No.
It's got a full mouth coat.
It's just good.
Yeah. It doesn't have much of a finish, but it's good on the palate.
Yeah, it's good. No complaints.
No.
I was given a second chance.
So, with the last video, I said cheers to that type of NCO, that type of leader, to where he doesn't have to belittle you or be condescending or yell at you, get his emotions taking charge. The guy said he never scolded us. He instructed us. He said that when they would get shot at and everybody else would be hugging Mother Earth, he'd be standing there directing us which way to go. And then a little bit later, he said that that sergeant major felt like if they didn't get me in the first 30 seconds, I'm good. And just that last part, I can definitely relate to when it comes to being in firefights in Afghanistan. because you'll be walking down the road, like looking for command wires, looking for IEDs, things of that nature, and you start getting shot at, and you're like, where's that coming from? And it's like, if you were as good of a shot as I am, then I would have been dead, right? But you're shooting at me, and you just fucked up because now I know where you are, because that's a direct fire system. So you're telling me where you are, and you fucked up because you're not as good of a shot as I am, or else I wouldn't have heard the shot, right?
Right.
And so then you start maneuvering on the enemy in their position because they just gave themselves away. And so that's what it reminded me of when the guy talked about the Sergeant Major, where his philosophy is there's no need to be scared, because if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And so if they don't get you in the first 30 seconds, hey, then you need to start doing something yourself. You don't got that much to worry about. You need to act. Oh, man. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We've got another Medal of Honor recipient. I believe this is the last one for the night. This brings us to the modern day era of Afghanistan, which is near and dear to my heart because I got to visit lovely Afghanistan 4 times. Highly do not recommend.
Goddamn.
1 out of 10 would not bang. Do not recommend. But let's see what happened to Medal of Honor recipient Florent Groberg.
Welcome back, everybody. My next guest just received the Congressional Medal of Honor from President Obama. It's the country's highest honor for battlefield bravery. Please welcome Army Captain Florent Groberg. Captain, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
You're the 10th living service member from Afghanistan to be awarded the Medal of Honor, which is the highest award for battlefield bravery. You tackled a suicide bomber and pulled him away from a security detail that you were on in Afghanistan. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened that day?
Yeah, it was August 8, 2012. I was in charge of a personal security detail for, at the time, Colonel Mingus, and we were in eastern province of Kunar, Afghanistan, and we were going over there for a security meeting, provincial security meeting, when my team and I encountered 2 motorcycles coming towards us, and which was unusual. So the ANA, Afghan National Army, actually did a good job of putting the rifles and yelling at them. Sergeant Brink, my platoon sergeant.
These guys were on the road ahead of you?
Yeah, right in front of us. Once the motorcycles were there, they dismounted and started running away, and turned to my left, and there was a guy came out of nowhere, walking backwards, parallel to our patrol, and so he's a threat at this point.
Walking backwards for you, said?
Walking backwards.
Okay.
Parallel. So he does a 180, and as soon as he does a 180, he just cuts through towards us. So that's when I left my position. Sergeant Mahoney followed me, and you just react. And my job is to protect the boss and protect the VIPs, and so he was a threat. You have to assess the threat. I hit him with my rifle. I grabbed him by the suicide vest.
And when did you know that he had a suicide vest on?
Well, when I hit him, that's when I knew, because I felt it. So I took my rifle and just hit him. And at that point, I'm like, okay, this is real. So the only thing you got to do in this case is to, try to get him away as far as possible from the boss, because he's dangerous. So you just react and grab them, throw him, which Sergeant Mahoney, he detonated at our feet.
And we've just seen attacks in Paris, and suicide vests have been used there, and suicide vests have been used all around the world. Where did you find it in you to grab someone that you knew was wearing a deadly weapon and drag them away, knowing it could detonate?
It's just the way we are. It's the way we're designed. It's the way we train, the way we love each other. It's brotherhood. It was real easy for me to do anything out there for my guys, especially with Colonel Mingus, who I consider like a second father to me. He mentored me, and so did Commissioner Andre Griffin. So at this point, you're out there every day. You're trained for years. You live together. You go through a lot of crazy things together, and you're willing to do anything for these guys.
28. There were 28 people on that patrol that day. 24 of them survived. 4 people did not. And I believe the picture's right here. We have Command Sergeant Major Kevin Griffin, Major Tom Kennedy, Major David Gray, and Ragai Abdel Fattah, a USAID Foreign Service officer. Do you think of those people? Are they always on your mind, the ones who didn't make it?
Every day. I have this bracelet here, as you can see. I'll show it to you if you want to look at it. And on this bracelet, you have the Command Sergeant Griffin, Major Gray, Major Kennedy, all 4FID. And, I wake up every morning and, I think about them. I wake up, I go to sleep every night, I think about them. I just want to make sure that, I was given a second chance, and I would do everything, and I would give back everything to have them back. I would trade places with them at any second. So my goal in life is to remember them and speak about them like you're doing, which I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and be a better person, because I get to live for them, and for the rest of my life, every single day they're going to be next to me, they're going to be supporting me, and I'm going to make sure that I do my best to honor them and their families.
When did you know? When did you know that you were going to survive? Did we assume you were knocked out by the blast?
I was knocked out of the blast. I was thrown about 15 to 20 feet. So I came back to it about a couple minutes later, and I was in shock. So you it comes back to you, and you're there laying on the ground. I had an assault pack, which is a backpack that was keeping me up a little bit. And I saw my leg, and I realized that I was probably going to lose it. So at that point, I just I assessed the situation, more wounds, and I looked at my leg and I thought, I must have stepped on an IED. So that means that this is probably an ambush, and there's going to be small arms fire coming up next. So I looked for my rifle, couldn't find it, took my pistol out, make sure it was around, lock and loaded. And anybody came, I would try to do my best to shoot them, but that I had to get out of the kill zone, so I started dragging myself. But I was losing a lot of blood. And the reason why I made it is because Sergeant Brink ran, picked me up, grabbed me by the end of my plate carrier, dropped me into a ditch where my medic would have torn the PCL, MCL, worked on me and gave me a tourniquet and kept me alive.
Now I understand you were medevaced to Germany, and when you woke up, you thought that the person speaking to you at your bedside, who was a nurse, I understand, or a doctor, you thought that it was the lead singer of Korn. This is what you thought you were seeing when you woke up. What are the sanitary standards in German hospitals? Because that would terrify me if I saw that. You actually thought you were looking at the lead singer of Korn?
It was him. It was him. The Washington Post, just did a story, and he remembers the day he was doing. They were out there in Landstuhl doing a concert for the troops.
It was the lead singer of Korn?
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
We're like best friends, according, So,
wow.
Yeah.
One last thing. I understand that you were born in France.
Yes.
And that you speak French.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the people of Paris?
Yes. I'll say it in French, that's okay?
Yeah, please.
Pour la France, en fait, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé à Paris, ça m'a brisé le cœur parce que je suis né en France et mon cœur il va toujours être français. Alors je vous dis, restez forts et vous êtes dans mon cœur et je vous aime.
Captain, thank you for your service and thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
Captain Medal of Honor recipient. We'll be right back.
There was multiple parts of that that really just hit me in the feels, as they say. Ninjas coming up beside you and cutting onions. Great interview right there with him.
Yeah.
Dumb question. What does the color and the markings mean on his uniform shoulders? He was a captain. And so on his shoulders was the captain rank. With NCOs, like I'm an NCO, I'm a non-commissioned officer, sergeant first class, and so I have the chevrons and the rockers on my arms, right? Officers don't have that. They have the shoulder boards. That's what they're called, shoulder boards. So his rank is visible on his shoulders in his dress uniform. So yeah, not a dumb question. Not a dumb question.
Excellent question, by the way.
I greatly appreciate stuff like that because, before, even like when I was in basic training, I would look at the drill sergeant's uniforms and be like, what's that? What's that? What's that? You know what I mean? Because when you're, when it's something that you don't have any experience with, when it's something that you don't know, you look at it and you're like, what the hell does all that mean? Right?
Yeah.
The only reason why I don't do this in my uniform, so you can see all my flair, all my awards and ribbons and stuff like that, is because nowadays it's very frowned upon to drink in uniform. Back when I first joined the Army, we would have big parties where we would, do the grog, where like all the officers would go up there and each one add a bottle to the thing, and you'd all just get plastered all night. In the National Guard, or not National Guard. When you go to field problems, at the last day when you do the awards and stuff like that, you do a barbecue, and you would have cases and cases of beer. And the commander might say something like, "Give a 2 beer limit" or something like that. But it was better. I'm telling you, because nowadays, to where you're not supposed to drink in uniform, it's like, are we not men? Come on.
Yeah.
Bro.
So the Navy used to have this giant party in Vegas, and they would celebrate all these like pilots who would be able to like land on carriers, and they had this tailhook ceremony. Tailhook, like. It was so fucked up that it literally set the standard for sexual harassment training in the military. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So like these guys, these basically pilot bros would get together and get shit-faced. And they would like have flight simulators that would like come in on a cable. They would drop the tail hook, which would catch the cable, which would stop them. It's like a landing on a carrier thing, right? But then they would go out and assault every female in the crowd.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, this was back when I was still in the military. I told you earlier, I'm 56 years old, guys.
Yeah.
I've been out of the Navy for a long fucking time. But when I was in, they recognized that this tailhook party in Las Vegas was bad news. And they gave us all like sensitivity training, and you don't treat females this way. And like obvious shit, right?
Right. You would think.
Exactly. But they have to teach military officers you cannot treat females the way you're treating them.
The kind of thing that you don't think you'd have to actually explain to somebody, but for some reason you do.
You know what I'm saying, Mark? So modern day military is light years ahead of what it was back in the late 80s, early 90s. We like laid the fucking groundwork for all this shit back then. And you guys have perfected it.
Joe, do you want me to leave you in the backstage, or do you want to be on here with us?
Just leave me backstage, bro.
Okay. All right. I'll jump you up when we go to the backstage. But it's good to see you, Joe. I'm glad you're here. I'm guessing that you're driving and listening along while you're driving. And to you, Joe, my Marine brother, and to everybody else who's still watching, cheers to you. Thank you for being here. Can you please add Arnold Golden to the Fallen U.S. Marine Corps? Yes, I can. Thank you, Bourbon. What was it? Arnold Golden?
Arnold Golden.
Like I said, anytime you guys have somebody that is near and dear to your heart, and then we can add them to the fallen, we must keep saying the name, so they're never truly forgotten if we keep repeating their name, telling their stories, telling about them. Appreciate all that. Slapshot and T-Rob are in the house. What's up, guys? Good to see you. I'm guessing Vic must have just got off his live stream. Time again for water. We are drinking water. All right, so we just went through all the Medal of Honor recipients, talk about things that are significant in the month of August. We started off with history. We talked about that the National Day for Veteran First Responders is the first Saturday of August. The 5th of August is Purple Heart Day. Was it the 14th of August? I think it was the Navajo Code Talkers Day.
Code Talkers are badass.
Yeah.
No, so cool that you had them on here.
Thanks, buddy. So we talked about those significant things in the month of August. Plus, we had Medal of Honor recipients from the Civil War, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the war in Afghanistan. And so now we're moving on to current military history. Current military news for the month of August. I need to drink more water. So, hey, Troy, do you know who's having a bad summer? Just a bad summer.
I mean,
Sig Sauer.
Yeah, Sig Sauer.
So, Sig Sauer, the P320, the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission is taking off the Sig Sauer from weapons that their police officers carry. So,
Yeah,
but it's
now,
not just Washington State, my friend. It is not. I'll tell you what. You know who else is having an issue with this Sig Sauer P320? The Army calls it the M17 and or the M18.
So I just
and look at
watched a video of a guy reviewing the Sig Sauer. He put like the little plastic deal in the trigger, touched the slide, and it went off.
Really? So I could show you right now, but you know, YouTube doesn't like live streams with weapons, right? For obvious reasons. There's things that have gone wrong. That's why they don't like it. But so once upon a time, I was pistol shopping. I wanted to go buy a pistol. I had, I want to get a new concealed carry, like an everyday carry kind of thing. I want to get a new one. And so I handled like at the counter, 12 different pistols. And out of those 12, I took 10 of them into the range because at this gun store, they had an indoor range. And if you paid like $15, you could shoot any pistol you wanted in the range case, right? So I shot 10 different pistols that day. One of them was the Sig Sauer P320. And I felt like the trigger was way too light for me. You don't want a trigger that's super heavy, like but I was trained on how to shoot on a rifle, right? And so starting from a rifle trigger, a lot of pistol triggers are really light for me. But that 6 hour P320 was super light to where it's you're supposed to kind of like start pulling it back to where it surprises you. Now, this was a different level of catching you off guard, right? And so I got the Walther PPQ M2 that day. I almost went with the H&K with the V, whatever it was. And there was a couple others that I really liked. But I got the Walther. I really like the Walther PPQ M2. But so when I saw this, that not only Washington State Washington State police officers are pulling the 6 hour, but now the Air Force is conducting a big thing because and it's because an airman died. So the entire Air Force is doing a service-wide inspection of the handgun after security forces airman suddenly died last month. Airman Braden Levin, or Levon, Levin. Hold on. In Wyoming, it was killed by a discharged firearm. Does it tell you how it happened? No, it doesn't. It just says that he was killed by the discharged firearm. Dude, what the heck? It doesn't tell you the rest of the story. Dang it, man. I was hoping it was going to tell us the rest of the story, because sometimes people are doing weapons maintenance. Sometimes people are doing training, like maybe they're at the range. And sometimes it's like they're doing something and they kill their buddy. So I thought like this guy might have been standing next to the guy who had the weapons malfunction and he got killed subsequently to that. You know what I mean? But once again, everybody who has ears to listen, hear this. Always treat a firearm as if it is loaded, and never point it at something you do not want to destroy. It's one of the first things I got taught is you do not aim a weapon, whether you know it's loaded or not. You do not aim it at something that you do not want to destroy, is the verbiage they used. And so whether you think it's loaded, whether you think it's unsafe, you don't point your weapon at stuff you don't want to shoot. Bottom line in his story. So I was really hoping that article was going to tell us more about how this young, 21-year-old Air Force airman, how he was killed. But the investigation is pulling the weapon system from 6 Hour, which is crazy. I have a few SIGs. My M4, I have a SIG Sauer M400, which is a fantastic weapon. It's good to see you, buddy. Glad you could be here. But yeah, my 6 Hour M400, my dude, I freaking love that gun. Absolutely. Tater Dom is in the house. What's up, bud?
What's up, Dom?
Dave's here. So
Be right
Brian
back,
says I have 3 SIGs and I love them. Yeah, man. It was in his holster. Wait, so the 21-year-old airman, it was in his holster and it shot him and he died from it? I took my 320 X5 off my gun belt a couple years ago to go shooting. Now I use other pistols. The strange thing is they can't pin it down. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that, because that stupid article didn't tell us the rest of the freaking story. But I thought it was a huge, interesting coincidence that in the same month, Washington State law enforcement and the Air Force they both have big things going on with the 6 Hour 320 handgun, to where it looks like they're pulling it. And so 6 Hour is not having a good month. So what else is going on in current military news? Let's go ahead and do a off the cuff. Let me share with you guys. How many U.S. members a RDEP How many U.S. service members are deployed right now as of late 2024? I don't want to know late 2024. I want to know currently in mid 2025. So there's about 55,000 troops in Japan, 35,000 troops in Germany, 25,000 troops in South Korea, roughly 100,000 troops in Europe, 40,000 troops in the Middle East somewhere. They don't disclose where. And total overseas is around 170,000 active duty troops. So, as of right now, remember everyone deployed, there's about 170,000 young men and women who the majority of them are like in their 20s and 30s out there doing a bigger mission than themselves. 170,000. Cheers to them. Remember everyone deployed. Man, oh man. All right. What else is going on with current military? Share screen. Let's end it. Let's end the news on a good note. What do you say, Troy? So, quick thinking by rookie seaman saves 97-year-old from drowning at the Coast Guard Festival. A 97-year-old man lost his balance and fell 6 feet down into the Grand River, and he's making a full recovery thanks to a Coast Guardie who was standing by. He lost his balance and he fell in the water. And a young Coast Guard standing by jumped in and saved him. That's freaking awesome. Sent me a new, more detailed reference to this. Okay, roger that. I will read that when I'm sober. Cheers to all of them. Roger that. Time for water. Drink more water. All right, we are getting towards the end of the stream, so I want to pop off the wheel of names. If you are a prior service or still serving veteran, if you are a veteran of any military branch, if you have put on boots, tied them up, and served your country, in the comments, put the branch that you served in. That's it. Just Army, Navy, whatever, right? And I'll put your name on the wheel of names, and you will win, or you will receive U.S. Army 250th anniversary pour of the special horse soldier bottle. Oh, which is actually this one. So just put it in the comments below, and I will put you on the wheel of names, and I will auto put Baker Drinks in there because he is a Navy veteran. Jake, I'll put you in there. I saw you Army vet. Right, I'm not messing that up, right? Corner Whiskey, you're Jake, right? Just want to make sure. Brian's Navy, yep. Talked to you a few times before. Good to see you, Brian. Thanks for being here. Oh, and let's look at the poll. How's the poll doing? Man, the poll's moved around a little bit. So if you look at the poll, which military branch did you or your family serve in? 47% Army Coast Guard, 37% Navy Marines, Air Force Space Force is 10%, and other countries' militaries is 7%. I'm glad our friends from overseas could show up. We missed you guys in the first half of the live stream. Glad you guys are here now. So Army is still in the lead with 47%. Navy Marines is right behind at 37%. Air Force 10%, and other countries 7%. So if you guys have not voted in the poll, then cast your vote. And right now, the wheel is looking really good because we just got the 3 red, white, and blues. We got Troy here from Baker Drinks. We got Brian and Jake. Which you got to forgive me, corn and whiskey. I've been drinking. If you're not Jake, then I'm doing something wrong. But I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes to jump on the wheel. If there's anybody out there that still hasn't put their name out there, that if you have served in any branch of the military. Bourbon's in the house. Bourbon, you are in Arizona right now. You are it's early for you for the first time ever here on the Veterans Whiskey live stream. Good to see you, bud. I know you were here earlier, but I don't know if you've been here the whole time. Corner Whiskey is J-Max, and Joe is in the backstage driving. Yes, you're right. I need to put Joe on here. Thank you very much. Independent. I love this red, white, and blue wheel. I'm not shy about that at all. Let's see. Any changes in the poll since we last talked about it? 47, 37, 10, and 7. Nope. All right, so I'm going to hide the wheel from the stream. Give you guys a couple more minutes before we do the spinning of the wheel in case somebody's here and they're like a couple minutes behind. Because, you know, sometimes when you're watching a live stream, you get behind a bit if you have to pause it or you rewind it or something. So just quick recap for the month of August. The military whiskey of the month was the Horse Soldier 250th Army Anniversary bottle. We honored the fallen. We talked about people that we lost that are no longer with us. We talked about significant things in the month of August that are currently nowadays and historical for military. And now we're going to move on to the AAR before we close it out. So if there's anything that we should do differently, or if anything we should make sure we repeat next month, let us know. Put it in the comments and say, make sure you do this again next month. I really enjoyed that. Or, you know, something we should do differently or something we should add. If you want us to add anything, like with the variants of videos we share each month, or if there's a military veteran-owned whiskey company that you would love to see us highlight as the veteran whiskey of the month, let us know that, and we can see if we can get them on the show. All right, let's go ahead and spin this wheel. Where is it? Okay. So I'm going to come on here. I'm going to press shuffle 3 times. You got the red, white, and blue wheel. One of you guys. Hold on. Last call for water. Last call. Thank you, Eric. I greatly appreciate you, my friend. Drinking water. One lucky winner. We'll get 2 1-ounce samples of the Army 250th Horse Soldier and that person. Is J-Max. Awesome. So I will get those out to you, J-Max. Get you 2 1-ounce samples. And you know what? I'll send you a sample of the D-Day anniversary bottle as well. You know, why not? I'll not only send you the 250th anniversary, I'll also send you the D-Day anniversary bottle, because you're not going to find this anywhere unless you pay a pretty penny for it. And what's whiskey for? Whiskey's made for sharing with friends, right? So let's go and close out the poll. We're going to end the poll right now. Uh, 46% Army, 36% Navy Coast Guard, Navy Marines. My bad. Apologize. Air Force 10%, other country 6%. So that was a strong ending. Good poll, close numbers, but Army came through in the end representing. Thank you, all my fellow soldiers out there for being here and representing. You know what I'm saying? And for taps, we are once again going to close out when I got to personally film, like I got to observe and record taps getting played at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I'm not going to do this every month going forward because there's a lot of background noise. There's people talking in the crowd. There's airplanes flying overhead the whole time. And so it's not really good audio, but I wanted to play it one more time tonight for you guys. But once again, thank you for being here. If you have any suggestions, or if you have a veteran-owned whiskey that you would like to see us highlight as the veteran-owned whiskey of the month, then shoot me an email at northwestbourbon@gmail.com or hit me up on Instagram. Also, if you know a veteran who is not involved with the Veterans Whiskey Club or Warriors and Whiskey, you can find that contact link in the video description. You'll find their website, Facebook, all that good stuff. It's tens of thousands of veterans around the world that are in a club where you have the mutual interest of not only being a veteran, but have an appreciation for whiskey and want to be involved in that social network. So you or your friend, not alone. We're here to be with you and enjoy this life together. But thank you guys for being here. As always, we will see you again for another Veterans Whiskey Club live stream next month. And with that, we are out. Make sure you are a good influence to those within your sphere of influence. Drink more water than you're drinking whiskey. And thanks again for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This ceremony that you are about to witness is an Army reclaim ceremony to be conducted in honor of the unknown. It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during this ceremony. All military personnel in uniform will render the hand salute. It is appropriate for all others to place their right hand over their heart upon the command of present arms. Thank you.